Steak sandwiches are great, but why not elevate that sandwich with some well thought out ingredients that complement each other perfectly? And we're gonna do it all on the grill. We're gonna start with marinating some certified Angus beef top sirloin, and while that marinates, we're gonna work on all the other elements of this sandwich. So let's get into it. Top sirloin is the perfect cut for this sandwich because it is versatile and great for grilling and then slicing. Make sure you get some nice thick steaks though. This will ensure for a perfect doneness. I like to season with salt and pepper before submerging in the marinade, so that will ensure a nicely salted steak. This marinade is super simple, using just Dijon, olive oil, and balsamic vinegar. These ingredients will bring a lot of flavor, and they're used again throughout the accompaniments. This will really add to the layers of flavor in this steak sandwich. The acidity from the balsamic should help to tenderize, and the Dijon should bring a little zesty flavor to the steak. Thoroughly combine all the ingredients and get the steaks marinating in a zip-top bag. Make sure the steaks are well coated in the marinade before zipping up the bag. We'll get this into the refrigerator and let it marinate for at least 2 hours. While that's working, we'll make a little Dijonnaise by combining some mayonnaise and Dijon mustard. See what I did there? Told you we would be repeating some of these ingredients. This is one of my favorite condiments to use on sandwiches. Next, we'll make a little seasoned arugula for a nice leafy green topping. Just use some salt, olive oil, lemon zest, and lemon juice. It's pretty much like an arugula salad and will add a nice flavor to the sandwich. I love arugula on sandwiches, but I think it's much more enjoyable to eat when lightly dressed like this, and the lemon will add a really nice pop of flavor and acidity. Toss the arugula well to coat with all those flavors, and maybe use a bigger bowl than I did. For this recipe, we'll be using ciabatta bread because I love the texture and it'll hold up nicely when constructing this sandwich. You can either use loaves of bread cut into smaller sections or ciabatta rolls. Whatever you find will work. I just think ciabatta works really well in this recipe and it won't destroy your gums when it gets a little toasty. Now that the steak is marinated, it's time to get it on the grill. Make sure to pat the steak dry first. This marinade will just create steam when it hits the heat, so removing the surface moisture will help to create a better crust. I like to set up a 2 heat zone grill. One side with high heat and all the coals, and no coals on the other side. This way we sear the steak hard and can finish cooking it through on the cooler side of the grill. See those nice grill marks? Patting them dry before grilling really help to develop that crust. Remove the steak and rest it while you construct the rest of the sandwich. We'll start with smearing the Dijonnaise on the bottom piece of bread. Dijonnaise is great because it brings flavor and acts as a moisture barrier to keep that bottom slice from getting too soggy. Back in the test kitchen, I prepared some glazed onions by slow cooking 1 large red onion with some chopped garlic and then glazing it right at the end with some of that balsamic vinegar. I loved caramelized onions on a sandwich, and this glazed red onion is a little twist on the traditional caramelized yellow onion. Caramelizing and glazing with vinegar adds a sweet and sour onion flavor that really pops with the steak. I'll put them on the top piece of bread so that they warm through while we're toasting the sandwich. Once the steak is rested, slice it thin and pile it high on the sandwiches. Before going onto the sandwich, I like to toss all the slices around a little bit so they get coated in some of those juices, and any of the end pieces that might be a little more done get mixed into the rest of the perfectly cooked steak. Top it with a little sharp provolone cheese, or you could even use a nice sharp white cheddar. That would work great here. Now we'll use the cool side of the grill just to warm the sandwich through and melt that cheese. You can move it directly over the coals if you want your bread a little extra toasty. Finally, we'll top with that dressed arugula to give it a fresh, peppery bite that just rounds out a great sandwich. This has everything I'm looking for in a sandwich. The crunch from the arugula, the sweet and sour onions, the rich beef and a sharp cheese to go with it, plus that bread is nice and crusty and firm. I like to cut mine diagonally because everything tastes better when it's cut on an angle. Just look at that cross section. All those layers of flavors and textures make this amazing sandwich worth the work. Can't you just see the look of pure joy in my face right there? Now that's a good sandwich. These ingredients are just so well balanced, and they really just highlight the beef. Follow these steps to make your perfect steak sandwich. Now remember to like and subscribe, and join us again next time out here at the grill.